If you're looking to scale in 2026 and make more money with email marketing, sending more emails is not the way to do it. That's because this strategy has one big flaw. The potential caps out. When you are sending 1 or 2 emails a month, then sure, sending more will give you significantly better results. But what happens when you're consistent with 3 to 4 per week? Do you send 7 per week? And where do you go from there? Do you send 2 or 3 emails per day? You get the idea. Sending more is important, but only up to a certain point. For most brands, the absolute sweet spot is going to be 3 to 4 emails per week. But once you are there, your focus should go towards the quality of your emails that you are sending out, but also to the segments that you are targeting. That's why in this video, I will show you how you can start sending better emails and expand your reach in 3 simple steps so you can start profitably growing your brand and take it to the next level. But first, let me show you how quantity versus quality works in reality. So these are going to be 2 graphs I'm going to show you. The first one is going to be quantity, which is going to be emails sent per week. When you look at that, like I said before, when you're sending 1 to 2 emails per week or even a month, then increasing the quantity to 3 to 5 per week is going to give you way better results. Don't get me wrong, this is actually true, that when you're sending more, you will make more results, but then again, it's going to be up to a certain point, because when you get to the 3 to 5 emails per week level, then adding more emails every single week is going to give you diminishing returns. So yes, you will see an increase in revenue, but it won't be as exponential as it was at the beginning. Now, on the other hand, if you focus on the quality of the emails, it's going to compound. So obviously, quantifying the improvement of your emails is pretty hard, just kind of explaining how you can, or measuring what is the quality of the email, but you should be measuring just by revenue. So if you, keep on improving even by 1% or 10% every single email you send out, then once you get to a level where you're sending 5 emails per week and all of them are getting better and better, it's going to give you exponential growth. And especially when you combine both of these, if you're doing 1 or 2 emails a month right now, then it's definitely not enough, but you should get to 3 to 5 per week and then work on the quality of your emails, because getting to increasing the quantity is, I would even say, a lazy way. Anyone can send more emails, but improving the quality of the emails takes way more time, way more effort. But no worries, I'm going to show you how to do it in this video. And on top of that, I'm also going to show you how to expand your reach, because this is another super important thing, because once you get the quantity and quality of the emails, you should be sending to as many people as possible. But then again, I'm going to show you how to do it in this video later on. But first, let me just focus on the quality of the emails. So the first step to improving the quality of your emails you're sending out is going to be nailing down your design. And in this case, I'm going to mainly cover visual hierarchy and readability. This is a very simple, I would even say a template email that we use for pretty much any brand we work with. And no, it's not every single email looks the same, but this is a base structure we are using, because we know it works super well. As you can see, it's really optimized for above default section and also just maximizing the clicks. So the structure is pretty simple and goes as follows. You first have logo, then headline, subheader, and then a button. Then you have some kind of image, which could also be above the button. Don't religiously follow the structure, but if you want to get the best results, then honestly this following it one-to-one is going to give you the best results. Then you have email body, another button, and then you can have multiple sections over there, add reviews, product sections, collection sections, anything else really. But other than that, at the very end of the email, you should have 5 collection links. These don't have to be 5 exactly, it can be 3, but this could also be your 3 products or 5 products. My point is that having these links will help you drive more clicks from every single email, because whenever we tested that, we saw an increase in email clicks by 30 to 50%. So it was pretty significant, and that's why you should have it in every single email. Then at the very bottom, you should also have a footer with 3 USP icons, just again to convert more people. And then at the very end, obviously your logo as well. So this is a very simple structure that again you can follow and pretty much copy paste it. And again, make sure that every single email looks differently, but it follows the structure in some shape or form. You can start with an image and then have headline, subheading, a button. You can have image on the right or left hand side, and then kind of on the other part of the width of the email, you would have headline, logo, subheader. You get the idea. Just again, make sure that your above default section is optimized, and then also a few other tips. So the first one, like I said multiple times, above default section, super important to get it right, because then again, that's going gonna be the first thing someone sees. So like if that's gonna be optimized for clicks, then you'll just get more clicks from your emails. Then another important point is using infographics wherever you can, just to get your point across easily. They explain, you know, way better pretty much everything than, you know, the long paragraphs of copy. So whenever you can, use infographics and get across your USPs, reviews, benefits, features, anything like that. Then you also want to make sure that you have enough padding between all of these sections, because if your emails don't have much padding and they're like way too cluttered, then it's gonna be not looking that well. People are gonna get confused and it's just not gonna be readable, because, you know, nice having emails come down to really being readable and then having this visual hierarchy, which I explained before. Then whenever you have, you know, a block of text, you don't want to just usually paste, you know, the whole section into the email. You want to split it into paragraphs, or again, play with some infographics to make sure it's more readable and just looks better. And then footer with USP icons and collection links, once again, super important. But once you do it, once you pretty much can use it for all of your emails, and it's going to help you drive more clicks and conversions. And now I kind of want to show you some example to, you know, actually visualize what I mean by visual hierarchy, and then also like, you know, the design aspect of the emails, because I know that a lot of people kind of ignore it and they're like, you know, okay, we're gonna figure it out, but it's not the truth. I'm going to show you 2 examples of emails, and then, you know, I'm just gonna ask you a few questions, which is gonna be which one positions the brand as more premium, which one builds more trust, or which one you would click. That's like a simple indicator for which one is looking better. So let's just, you know, look at both of them. I'm kind of gonna zoom in for like, you know, the before or the other email that this brand had. You can go ahead and, you know, just kind of pause the video and like take a look at it. But then again, also broken section, it was broken when, you know, we onboarded them, so it's not like I just did it for the purpose of the video. It was actually broken. So this is the first email, you know, you can see, and then you have the other one, which, you know, me and my team did. Okay, so then again, you can kind of see what's going on. And then, yeah, like after taking a look at all of these, not all of these, but like at both of these emails, which one positions the brand as more premium, which one builds more trust, and which one would you personally click? Probably you are just like me, and like probably other people as well, because you would click the email on the right hand side for multiple reasons. Like, first of all, it just looks better. I mean, you know, compare the email on the right and on the left. The one on the right feels more premium, like it just feels more premium. People are also willing to spend more because of this. And then, you know, it kind of also positions your brand as the more trustworthy when you have an email that looks good and it's congruent with your website. And then, like I said before, optimized above the full section, very short copy, you know, adding 1 review and then just finishing off with USP icons and then the logo as well. We don't have collection links in this one because it was a 1 product store, so it doesn't really make sense to have collection links when you have just 1 collection and 1 product. Now let's get to the other point on improving the quality of your emails, which is going to be aligning all of your emails with your ads, website, and awareness stages. Now it may be kind of like confusing because it's just not like, you know, probably the advice you hear from everyone else regarding the copy, but it's really important, and I'm going to show you why in just a second. But when you think about like doing emails, you need to align the emails you're sending out with the whole customer journey. And the whole customer journey for new customers usually starts with an ad. That's why it says that your ad should align with your website and then with your emails, because this is how people are going to flow into your email list. They're not gonna, you know, come out of nowhere. If you're running paid ads and this is how, you know, the channel responsible for the majority of your growth, everyone's going to see your ads first. And where's the problem? The problem is when your ads are targeting unaware people or problem-aware people, but your emails cover only most aware prospects. And this is a big problem, because if someone joins your email list being problem aware, but they don't know much about solution or your solution specifically, and you're sending them only emails that would fall into the most aware segment, which let's say is discount, promos, you know, bundles, stuff like that, the chances are they won't convert as well. Mainly because they just don't have the awareness level yet. So you need to align all of this and make sure that your messaging is congruent throughout the whole funnel. And just to give you an example, we have a client who sells supplements. They are selling 1 supplement for now, which solves technically 1 problem because it lowers cortisol, okay? But the outcome of that is and also the target audience and avatars are different, completely different groups. One of them is just kind of lowering stress, like, feeling more calm, less stressful and whatnot. But the other one is sleep angle. So like, hey, are you waking up at 3 a.m. with your heart pounding? Now, if we send the stress email or stress welcome flow to people who landed on the landing page about sleep, they're not really gonna resonate. Like, okay, maybe, they will click because still product technically is the same. I mean, not technically, but it is the same and solves the same problem. But what matters is how you position this. And if you're asking someone to like, hey, do you like apples? And then you send them email about oranges, yeah, sure, they might like oranges as well, but they signed up for apples, so give them apples. Okay, that's what I mean. So this is why you want to have all of that aligned, especially if you're running separate landing pages, advertorials, or anything else for your paid traffic. You need to have separate flows, and then ideally have emails that cover multiple angles that you're running through paid ads. This is why in your emails and in your copy, you want to focus on pain points, customer problems, but also send founder plain text emails, have longer emails, also I call them mini landing pages, and focus on the customer journey in general. I know this is maybe not the easiest to implement advice, but this is how you really improve the quality of the emails. So if you want to do it, I would start with seeing, okay, what are our top performing ads? Select 3 to 5 ads and see if the messaging is congruent with your emails. If it's not, then just try a few campaigns where the primary angle of the campaign is pretty much the ad itself. We've tried it for a few clients and the results were crazy good because, it just kind of makes sense that if someone's running paid ads to grow the brand and they're talking about one thing and they get an email talking about another thing, then, you get the results, which is going to be the conversion. Another thing you should be doing with your, especially welcome flow, is kind of moving people through these awareness stages. Because if most of your ads are for, let's say, unaware people or problem aware, but we want to move them to the conversion, they need to go through all of these stages down the line. So if they are problem aware, you would need to explain the solution. You would need to teach them about your products or your USPs, us versus them, and then most aware. So usually that's gonna be social proof, discounts, stuff like that. So then again, super important. If you want to send better emails, just pretty much do this, and there are like a few simple wins. You can just go ahead, list like 5 to 10 biggest pain points your customers have and send emails about them, and I guarantee that's gonna work and just give you more sales. Now, last but not least, we're gonna cover expanding your reach. Because when you already have the quantity of the emails, so 3 to 5 per week, and you're sending very good emails, you want to target as many people on your list as possible. One simple thing you can do right now is check how many active profiles you have, and then check how many people are getting your campaign on a weekly basis. Because if you have, let's say, 100,000 people active profiles in your email list, but you're sending emails only to 10% of that, you're not only overpaying for your Klaviyo plan or whatever software you're using, but you're wasting the potential of your emails that is sitting right there. And you could be easily reaching way more people that you're doing right now. And trust me, that's true because we've done this for like dozens of accounts, and there's like no excuse for not doing it. But before you do it, you need to have a few things in place. First one would be having your deliverability rock solid. So we want to have, a setup, the technical setup, which is the basic one, custom sending domain, SPF, DKYM, DMARC records, all of them. And then ideally, warmed up domain. So don't set up a custom domain and like blast your list right away. You need to warm up your list or your domain. Then you want to start expanding your segments. So let's say you're sending emails to engaged 30, then you would expand it and start sending to engaged 60, 90, 180, 1 year, and so on and so forth. You want to go as broad as possible because that's going to help you maximize unique opens and unique clicks, but also your total reach for the database. Basically, I like to call it buy or unsubscribe approach, because the truth is, like, if someone signed up for our email list and you're not just sending them bad emails, but actually good emails that are helpful, that are actually valuable, and also like, just pretty much give them the reason to buy, there is no chance for them, or like they should buy, but if they don't buy, you're not losing anything if they unsubscribe, okay? So I know that like some brands, are kind of like, do we really want to send that many emails? And the answer is yes, because these people signed up. They want your solution. So if you're not making them aware of your solution, which is the best on the market, you're making a disservice to yourself and actually not helping those people, because you would help them more if you put the product in their hands and solve their problem. Then you also what you want to do in terms of expanding your reach is targeting your whole list at least once per quarter. And I'm going to show you a simple example why in just a second. But before I get into the example, if you'd like, if you're looking for someone to handle all of that, which is sending more emails, better emails, and scaling your brand profitably, there's gonna be a link below this video where you can have a call with me. I'm gonna see how we can help you, and then if you're a good fit, I'm gonna take care of your whole email marketing and scale your brand profitably. Just last month we helped 3 brands get to 1 million per month. It was their first 1 million, which is crazy. So if that's you, if you want to scale as well, click the link below this video, book a call with me, and we will have a chat. But now back to the video, just showing the example why you should be expanding your segments and targeting the whole list at least once per quarter. But then again, your deliverability has to be very, very good. So let's say your Engage 60 segment has 20,000 subscribers and you're sending regularly to those people. So the reach or recipients per every single campaign is gonna be 20,000 people. Let's say your open rate is 50%, which is healthy. It's not unheard of. We've got lists of like 300, 400,000 people when we're regularly hitting this kind of open rate. So it is achievable for sure. With that open rate, you'll be hitting 10,000 opens or views per campaign, which again is pretty good, but that's per campaign. But then let's say you blast your entire list, which is gonna be 60,000 people. So in this case, I assumed that 1/3 of your list is your Engaged 60 segment, which, trust me, for the majority of the brands, that's not true. Probably that would be like more like maybe 100,000 people. I mean, the whole list size, or maybe even 200,000 people. But then again, I'm being very generous. So let's say it's 60,000 people, and then you hit a little bit of a lower open rate, because whenever you target your whole list, you will hit lower open rate. Let's say it was 40%, which is again achievable as well. That gives you 25,000 unique opens or views. Now, I'm gonna also be even more generous with this example and assume that everyone from the Engaged 60 segment opened that email, which again usually would not be the case, because out of this Engaged 60 segment, some people would probably not open that. And usually, whenever we're targeting the whole list, probably 10 to 20% people are like joining the Engaged 60 segment. But in this case, let's say that everyone who opened this email was in the Engaged 60 segment, but we also re-engaged people beyond this segment. So then what happens is 2.5 thousand people were added to the Engaged 60 segment because they opened the email, because we re-engaged them. Let's say we maintain our open rate of 50%, which again is achievable. You're looking at hitting 12.5k opens or views per campaign. You might be like, cool, it's not that much, but you need to remember that there's gonna be an increase of like 2.5 thousand views per campaign, which is still 20% more than the initial one, which is still amazing, 25% more. But then if you multiply it by the amount of campaigns you send in a month, let's say that's 12, then that gives you 30,000 more unique views and opens every single month, which is just crazy. Like if you would like to get your ad in front of 30,000 people, you would probably need to spend a couple hundred of bucks, maybe even a couple thousand, depending on your CPMs, right? Actually, I think it would be like more in 100, but still, that's your email list, and that's like super safe example, because in reality, again, this number would be like 80 to 100,000 people, and probably this Engaged segment would grow from like 20k to let's say 30k, right? And then that would get even crazier. But then again, that's why you need to do it, and pretty much this is the strategy moving forward for 2026 that you should be implementing. So yes, focus on quantity, but this is what everyone is doing, and it's not that hard to send 5 emails per week. So you should also be focusing on your design, copy, making emails better, and expanding your segments so you're using the majority of the email list and it's not just sitting in there and waiting to be suppressed or deleted. So again, that's the whole strategy. If you're looking for someone to help you with this and you want to scale your brand profitably in 2026, click the link below this video. You're gonna have a quick call with me, you're gonna see if we're a good fit, and I'm gonna be happy to help you out if we are a good fit. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.